Hello everyone and welcome to this commentary of Second Parade video, also known as Scykhe World 2021. So what is Second Parade? It's fairly easy. It's oh, thank you very much Avatar Rage for the follow. And you are my 133 followers, and I was just saying I would love that, so thank you very much. So, Second Parade is, what is it? It's an idea born by the fact that I haven't been able to play a lot recently due to the pandemic. And so, as I have a lot of miniature, and I told myself, well, I will not let them take dust in the box. So let's do a giant diorama, and let's transform my hobby room into a replica of Warhammer World diorama with hundreds and hundreds of miniatures. And so let's put all my collection on a big board, and let's have a look at what it could do. Let's try to tell story of in the middle of the battle. I have 14 different armies, and I thought I had around 1,050 painted miniature, but in fact I have 1,900 painted miniature. So it was quite a challenge. And so in this video we're going to watch the video I made for Second Parade. So if you have not seen it, and I advise you, if you have time, if you are watching this on YouTube, to go back on my page, watch the video one first time, and then to come back and watch this one where I'm going to do the commentary. Just a little game while we are watching the video. There are two assassins hidden in the battlefield, on the battlefield. Try to find them. If you find them, just let it me know in the commentary. Let it me know if you're in the chat live. Let it me know in the chat, and just have a try to have a keen eye to see if you can see the two assassins that are on the board. Just for the record, so far nobody have seen them, and last time I have to show them. I will, at the end of the video, I will tell you where they are. Okay. So if you want Cyprien, you can play, but you have already win. So as this video is recorded live with a Twitch chat, I will answer the question that on the Twitch chat. So don't worry, I will try to tell them when they are asked. Okay. So Second Parade Commentary Edition. So, okay. Wait. Come back here, photo. Come back here, little photo. Oh, it's okay. There's already a lot to tell about this photo. So, this is one of the best photos I've been able to make of the wall board with a good angle. I'm quite happy about it. But this photo has a story, because this photo is the one correct among more than 200 that have been taken. Why do I have to take this many photos? Just because, in fact, this room, which can seem quite big, well, in fact, there's almost no space around the board to move. So between the edge in the front of your screen and the wall, I think there's between 12 and 80 inches. So you have to realize that I couldn't hold my phone with which I took the photos and have enough depth to have the wall board. So to take this photo, I had to stretch my arm against the wall. I didn't see what I was shooting, and just trying to shoot as much photo with a wide angle as I could, just hoping to have to have the right angle and the right photo. And so I took yes, at least almost 200 photos to be able to have one correct. It was already quite a challenge, but I wanted to have a photo which on which you could see almost all the board and to have an idea. And I put it at the beginning of the video because as there won't be any wide shot of the board until the end, I just wanted to offer at the beginning a full view of the board. Hello Jen, glad to see you here. So this is the story of this photo. What else can I say? So I have also taken off a lot of stuff that usually on the wall. I've put some shit on the window. The aim is to have, I wanted to have quite a uniform whitish background to focus, to really be able to focus on the miniature and not be distracted by what's the other thing on the wall. And I also a small project. I hope it will be able to. I can make it happen. I have to contact someone to do it, but it could be lovely. Well, let's now start with the video. Let's continue. So just one quick thing about how the table is done. I made the table as a giant pizza with slices, and in each slices there is an army. Oh, thank you very much, Jen, for your Prime. Thank you very, very much. That's so nice. Thank you. So this board is a giant pizza. Each slice is for an army. And so I tried to plan beforehand on paper. I made a lot of maps, small maps on little papers to prepare in advance which army would go where, and which army will go where, which army will be neighbors, how I'm going to organize the fight, and so that's it was quite a work beforehand to try to organize it. And honestly, afterwards, I realized I messed some stuff, and which is quite interesting. But the result is good. The result is good, even if now I would not do the same way. What else can be said about this? Yes, and there is the centerpiece, which we will see later. And in the centerpiece, we have only heroes surrounded around the real boss of the field. So let's start with the first slice of pizza, which is quite spicy because it's Blood Angel 1. And here we go. Here's a first look to my Blood Angels. One of my most ancient army, because with Tyranids, it's Blood Angels are my first army. So they've been started in 1996, and so here you can see some old armor with also more modern ones. It's a giant mix because I have kept everything from the beginning. As you can see, most of my Rhinos and Predators and Razorback and Wheelin are the old model. I don't have a lot of modern vehicles for my Blood Angel. Something also which is quite interesting with my Blood Angel is I have been very inconsistent with my red. So, to be honest, if you look closely, you will notice that there's a lot of different red for my Blood Angel, and that's it has been a very good lesson for me. Hello, the Iron Mustache, good evening. So it has been a very interesting lesson for me with my Blood Angel because it made me learn that to really have a beautiful army, you have to be consistent in your color. I'm not saying that my Blood Angel are not beautiful because I love them. I know that the fact that the reds are not the same, it's not it's not the best. But it was a very great lesson, and I'm still in love with this army. One thing also you can notice, and it's more behind the thing, is that the density of miniature here is not very high. There are empty spaces. And you'll see that later on the board there will no more have any empty spaces. So why is there empty spaces here? Because it's the first, it's one of the first space I set up, and so at this point I didn't know how it will look at the end, so I thought I had more spaces, so I could left more empty spaces. So that's the first point. And second point, once everything has been set up, I couldn't go in again. I couldn't go anymore on this place, on this side of the board, and so I couldn't move miniature there and or put them out without taking off everything I put before. So this is like this just because it was finally in a spot where I couldn't go again. And let's continue to see a bit more of the Blood Angel. So here you can see almost half company of the first company, lots of Terminators from different eras, so very different in size. A few more tanks with some more modern ones. A quick look around. Oh, so now you can see most of the Terminators, also some Death Company with a classic chaplain. Oh, you have to know that we don't see him very well, but here is the classic Death Company chaplain. The Death Company chaplain has been my classic avatar for years on the internet. So a lot of people have known me as Scykhe with this avatar, and I changed it. I don't remember exactly why or when, but I changed it. But it's still a lovely character, and it's the chaplain that is on the V2 Angel of Death Codex. Behind here you can see the big building I made for Necromunda, which is called Peach Trees, the reference for Dread. Excellent movie. I highly advise you to go watch Dread. And in this building, I think we are going to see it, yes. So this building is telling its own little story. This building is telling the story of a Genestealer invasion in a building occupied by violent gang. And so this building, the story is that Genestealer are invading, and they are invading from the basement and from beyond the ground. So the first floor, the ground floor, is in fact there is only Genestealers and some Space Hulk Terminators who have come here to fight the Genestealer. On the second floor, there is Genestealers and Gangers. And Gangers, you can see they are behind boxes. They are defending. They are not in a good situation. They are really soon get overwhelmed by Genestealers. On the third floor, it's the inverse situation. Genestealers are still hiding. You can see one here behind the door, one here behind the crate, and the Gangers are still pretty confident, but they know that's something awry. And on the last and fourth floor, there is no Genestealer, but there is a fight between the gang because they all want to get rescued first, and to access the Valkyrie, the Imperial Guard Valkyrie, which has landed on the roof to try to come and rescue them. So even when they are pursued by dangerous Xenos, they still fight to know who will be the first to be rescued. So, and for this I use mostly all my Necromunda and Space Hulk miniature, and it allows me to tell a little story in the middle of the big battlefield. Oh, and if I want to add some information, uh, for a long time, I didn't play anymore Necromunda because there was a time when Necromunda was dead, and so I had a Necromunda gang, a Vansar gang, and so I keep using it. I keep using it as Imperial Guard veteran. So I always I'll always have a special feelings for my Vansar, and so if you look carefully in the video when you go there, you'll see that there are both old school Vansar and new Vansar, and so they are mostly the ones that are going to be rescued. Because I'm going to be honest, Vansar are my favorite gang, so they will win. So let's go back to the battlefield. Oh, nice! Here is a nice situation that I really appreciate. The Death Company has been deployed against what has been heard to be the most efficient close combat unit from the TOW, the famous and very furious Kroot. But in fact, as Kroot are absolutely awful in close combat compared to Death Company, they are going to be mashed and reduced into mush. So because there are about 20 Death Company against 12 Kroot, this is not going to end very well for them. But I wanted to best close combat unit against best close combat unit, but sadly it's not the same level. So after that, the focus is on my TOW. While here we can see a little wing of bike from my Blood Angel, who are outflanking the TOW army. So that's something I had in mind from the beginning. I knew that some army were going to be bigger than others, and so I knew that sometimes some army were going to be quite small, so I would have some space to squeeze other army behind them or flanking them. And so that's what I'm trying to tell with these bikes. Where if you cut, as I was saying, if you cut the board in slices like a pizza, this TOW should have been all around there. This part, this part should be TOW territory. But I knew that I wouldn't have enough TOW to fill this territory. That's why I thought, yes, there's outflanking by bikes and landspeeder. So now we are going to see my TOW with a teal and brown, my famous teal and brown shim. This is not a very well-known shim for TOW, and it's not very used, but it's, for the record, it's an official shim. Oh! Thank you, Maro, for your... Thank you, Maro. Thank you very much. 6 months. Wow. And hello. So yes, I was saying that it's this shim is an official Games Workshop theme, but it's not very well known because we have seen it only in the first edition TOW Codex, and there's only one miniature. Hello, Don Bonito Droid, welcome here. Glad to see you here. So this shim is only seen in one pages of the Codex, first edition, the first Codex TOW, and I don't know why, but it struck my eyes, and I wanted to do my TOW teal. And so, fun fact, I realized that if I make my TOW teal as the skin is blue, it wouldn't look very well. That's why I decided that my TOW wouldn't have a blue skin, and so that's why I will try to find one later when in the video, you will see my TOW have orange skin. And that's because also I'm a big fan of everything that is blue, green, and orange. Yes, we can see here. Well, it's not very. It's a bit blurry, but here is what's the name? The boss of the toe, an ethereal, and you can see his skin is orange, palish orange. And you can see that he is surrounded by a lot of exo armor protecting battlesuit, protecting him. Okay, so this is one of my favorite scenes of this big diorama. It's it's a little redo of a little revenge of the famous cinematic scene of Dawn of War 2, where Banshee and a Dreadnought are fighting, and so here again we see Dreadnought and Banshee are about to fight. Will the result be the same or different? That's a good question, because in the cinematic it doesn't end well for the Banshee. Also, small details. You can see the interesting Easter eggs that you can see here. First, the Toe are the only army which is not able to really pierce to get to the center. There was only one miniature in the center for the Toe that we can see here, but else they are stopped before, and the Banshee have made have been able to pierce through the ranks. And I want you to do that just to show that currently Toe are not an assault and attack army. So they have done their best, but they are not as good as the other army to pierce and go through. And that's why Banshees have been able to cut the line and attack directly Blood Angels. And the other thing that you can see is, I don't know if you see it, but here and here, you can see these little green balloons floating above the ground with these pink tentacles. Well, that's spore mine from Tyranids. And if you look carefully, you'll see that there's a lot of one a bit everywhere. There is one more here, one that we can see here. And I wanted to represent the fact that when Tyranids attack, they launch spore mines very far ahead of their strike to disturb and attack their enemy. And you will see there are a lot of them hidden a bit everywhere. About 12, I think. Oh yes, I don't know if you see them, but just on top of this building is 3 Imperial Guard snipers, Katashan snipers. And I wanted to put them in a good position to show that they have been able to sneak, to find good position to have a nice shot. And I really like these miniatures. They're quite pretty. It's the old one in metal. And yes, I just wanted to show them to you. Okay, so here let's try. We have a good angle? I'm not sure yet. But the idea is that we have the big centerpiece with all of a lot of iconic and big miniatures. So we have the new Primaris Mephiston, we have Abaddon, here's Alpharius, Casgul Shraka, an Alpha Genie Stealer, an Necron Overlord, an Avatar of Cain, and a Toe Commander. And I think we will see her later, but just in the middle is the boss of the battle, is the one in control of everyone, and who is just gently scolding everyone and say, hey, stop fighting, stop the stupidity, and go to your room. Because it's her who are the real authority. So now, after the Toe, it's time to watch a bit of Eldar. So, what's fun with the Eldar and a bit sad at the same time is that most of my models are old armor, but yet are still the ones that we can have. The only difference is that all of mine are in metal, and almost none of them are in resin, in fine cast. Yet, the construct, the race construct, are really old armors, and now they are more modern, which are clearly better. But so yes, we are at the Eldar part, craft world part, and so to the strike force of excuse me. The strike force of a craft world is mainly its aspect warrior. That's why the spearhead of the army is only made of aspect warrior, which you can recognize them because they have bright colors, and they are very different the one from another. So here I'm going to zoom. Yes, that's one of the first drill that I will comment. I've put here and there some drill which represent some interesting situation during the game, and I wanted to do some drill to represent a specific interaction. And this one between Calandras and Draza is one of my favorite because not a lot of people are aware of the relationship between Draza and Calandras. And so I thought it was quite a nice Easter egg because they have a common story, and they are linked by Ara, the father of the scorpion. I don't really know its law in English, so it's hard to me to say exactly. But let's just say that if you follow some theory, they are both students from the same Eldar, which has switched from Craft World from to Drukhari to Dark Eldar in his life. One of my favorite plane of the game, the Void Bomber from the Dark Eldar. I love this plane. I have not played it a lot, but I really like its style. And yes, that's, by the way, that's the old school Draza. And while I really love the new one because it's a wonderful plastic miniature, I prefer the style of the ancient. I would have really preferred a more modern Draza, but with the style of this one. Okay, Kitten, good night. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much. So let's continue with the Eldar, and here we can see. Oh yes, we will see again. So I will go back to it. So here, frontline frontline 2, some Dark Eldar incubi, which are a bit like aspect warrior for Dark Eldar. Here we have some Dire Avenger. Here too. Here we have a succubus in a venom. Here I don't remember. I know the name in French. It's a Dark Eldar Lord, but it's fun. I don't have all the vocabulary in English for them. You can see here one more Spormine, the tricky, sneaky one. All Dark Eldar Alien, which are pretty ridiculous. Oh, fun fact. If you play against me and my Dark Eldar, if I play my Alien, each time I'm going to move my Alien Surfer, I will sing Beach Boys song. And I will badly sing Beach Boys song. So I don't have the tune in mind. It's been a long time, but one of the most known. I will think it. So here a lot of Raider and River Jet Bike. Here the classic play of Space Marines, drop out behind the line with the tactical squad just exciting it. They're not in a very good position because they are very surrounded, but it's still they are still dangerous. I've spent almost more than 1 hour to fix the flying bases of all this motorjet and all of the raiders. They were all broken, and it's been really a pain in the ass to fix everything. And I'm going to be honest, I'll almost quit and say, oh, go to Dark Eldar, but no, I did it. I spent a lot of time. And they are all here, and I'm very happy about it. So we can see a bit more Spormin. Oh, here I cheated. Yeah, so here's a little cheat from me. The base of the fire prism was broken, and more than that was lost. So I don't know where is my the base of my fire prism. So to make it look is flying, I put it on this skull candle. So here I do a little zoom to show one thing. Here is Amalyn Shadowsword from Blackstone Fortress, and to show some of the Spormin. So here we are more in the backline of the Eldar army, so we can find all the Guardians, because they are not the best fighters. I keep in reserve, and they are almost here to use a heavy weapon, because they are bakers, they are painters, they are architects, they are not fighters. But here you can see an Eldar Tormentor with a Talos. Sorry, Kronos is the other one. For the inspiration of my paint engine, I use a lot of inspiration from a very good game, Dead Space. I wanted to something that looked like a big like Dead Space, with a skin color near from the necromorph. And if one day I have more Gorgons and all this miniature that are around Tormentors, I will certainly paint them this way. But for a long time, my Dark Eldar army was only around Witch Cult and Classic Warrior. Oh, here we arrive on one of my favorite points. It's what I call the tea party for the old one, or the card game for the old one. Here, in this, just here, is 4 miniature, which currently have more modern version, and for some of them, which are already on the battlefield. I have a more modern Karsgul, I have a more modern Mephisto, and a more modern Abaddon. This is Eldrad Ultron. I have I have not yet the more modern Eldrad Ultron, but it's still an old one. And so I imagine that they are copying all the one in the middle of the battlefield, but on their little side, just there are four of them, and instead of being around a powerful person, they are gathering around Macari, so the small Gretchen. So here was one of my challenge. Here you can see this Tesseract Vault from the Necron. Because when I put everything on the battlefield, I tried to do something. I tried to not hide line of sight with big miniatures. So that's why I chose some army had to do at some places, because I knew they had big miniatures, so I couldn't put them in front. But for my Necron, I wanted to be at one very specific spot. I wanted my Necron to be near my Eldar army, because there's a big feud between Dark Eldar and Eldar and Necron. But if I didn't find any spot for my Tesseract Vault to be placed on the Necron side without hiding too much thing around. So I decided that the Tesseract Vault, as it's a very dangerous weapon, and you don't really want to fight near one, because it could, if it's destroyed, you are going to be destroyed too. And so I decided I had to think a way to imagine what I'm going to do with it. So the story of this Tesseract Vault appearing here is pretty easy. In fact, it appeared in top of this building, it smashed the top of the building and arrived just here in the middle of all the firepower of the Eldar, ready to destroy them. So that's why there are the racks here, the Dark Eldar racks, and we have here Dark Reaper for the craft world. And so they are very surprised that suddenly a big Tesseract Vault with an angry Ctan Shard appeared just right there. So the Ctan Shard that we can see here is burning one near Jazata. So here's a little cut, just because while I was filming, I had to put the video on pause because I had to really urgently do a little something, and so when I came back, I tried to have the same angle to avoid a big jump cut, and I'm pretty happy with it. Here is a Crimson Fighter painted with my BL10 color. I wanted to paint it BL10 because I love vehicle painted in BL10, and so the crimson part are, we can see a bit of some of them here and here, are flowers, are roses. I thought it would look nice to paint roses on the plane, and I painted these roses using nail art technique taught by my wife. Here are all the Dark Eldars. Dark Eldar infantry, which are they're hiding, they are not in front line, we are here, we have come. They will have a participation prize, but maybe not much more. And after that, we have this huge wing of jetbike and Viper jetbike and Eldar vehicle. I really love painting the BL10 scheme for the vehicles. I think it's really beautiful. Here is one more, which is missing is its bases. So I decided to make a little diorama inside the diorama with the scarab, Necron scarab, already overwhelming it and starting to eat it, and so that's why it's already on the ground, because in fact its engine are already swarmed by all these scarabs and partly destroyed. As you can see here, one more spore mine, so it's not going to end well here too. And you can see also here some Necron jetbike which are facing the Eldar jetbike, a bit like two knights facing each other in a joust. So I'm going to drink a bit. Okay. Here we have some swooping hawk. They have landed behind the enemy lines. They thought it was a good idea, but they are surrounded by multiple spore mines, a Necron race, some Deathwatch Space Marines, and a pure Tyranid with a giant flamethrower. So I would be the swooping hawk. I would go back in the sky very soon because it's going to be not fun for them really quickly. So here's one of my favorite Tyranid piece, and I had the same reflection when I did it, when I commented in French, but I really need to have more Trigon in my life because it's really a beautiful piece. So the Trigon has dig a tunnel and has been through the ground and appeared here, and that's why there are Tyranids behind the line, because they have been able to sneak following the Trigon in the tunnel. So now, quick look on the Necron, Melfred Dynasty. Here we have a Cryptek. Here we have Lich Guard protecting both sides of the battle. Some Triarch Praetorian, a Triarch Stalker, Warriors. Here we have Mandragor, Dark Eldar Mandragor, who have infiltrated and are going to strike behind the line. Here is one more duel. So second duel, important one. It's the Swarm Lord, a conversion made from a third generation Hive Prince, and is Anrakir the Traveler, special character for the Necron. I wanted the Necron to be also near the Tyranids because some theory says that Necrons have been awakened by the Silent Lord, the Silent King, to fight the Tyranids. But it seems to be way more complex than that. So, small glimpse at the Tyranids. Okay, here we are going to see it. And so here we can see in the middle of the centerpiece, we can finally see who is the real boss of the battle. It's Inquisitor Greyfax. So I wanted, when I put on the centerpiece all these big, bad, mean dudes, mostly dudes, I was wondering what can be the centerpiece and finally one of the most important character of the drama, and it came clearly to me that this Inquisitor Greyfax would do the job. So she's here in the center of everything, trying to do at the same time diplomacy and authority, and trying to calm all these angry guys, and she's succeeding in it. So all of them are here for her, and she's not going to. She's not a damsel in distress. She is a strong woman, and she's the boss of the battlefield. And one of the reasons I wanted her to be in the centerpiece as a boss is because it's a miniature that has been gifted to me, and she represents a lot for me, and I wanted to find a beautiful place. Okay, Outer Rage, thank you very much for coming. Good night, and see you soon. So here you can have a small glimpse of what's going to arrive after, but okay, here we can see, well, Inquisitor just here. And now time for Tyranids. So here are the main strike force of my Tyranids is a lot of Genie Stealers. Some of them are from my Space Crusade, which I had in 1992, so way before I start playing Warhammer 40k, and I like to use them, even if they are not well painted, using oil paint for models. So, but I still like them. Here you can see old school, old armor Carnifex, and other not as old but still old Carnifex. Old Zentrop, old Venom Trop, old Tyranid Guard, old a lot of things. New Warrior. Here a quick look at the Death Watch, who popped to attack Tyranids with a drop pod, Land Raider. They are sorting the big guns to fight the Tyranids, but this huge toxic run is not going to make their life easy. Here we have a mix of old and new Armagant, old and new Tamagon 2. Oh, look at these Aurora. Look at these gargoyles on their flying base, but the flying bays are not round, they are hexagonal. It's even less stable than the round ones, the circular ones. These miniatures are the worst in terms of balance. They tipped over every time, and they break very easily. So I have to say that I am always sweaty and very stressed when I have to use them, because I don't want to break them, I don't want to glue them again, and they fall a lot, which means that when I play them in a game, hello Woodchuck, when I play them in a game, most of the time I put them on their back. So the stand is above and they are put on their wings. Luckily now I have also 20 plastic ones, so I prefer to use the plastic one, and I use them only when I have to use 30 of them, but these bases are the worst. You can also see here a lot of Reaper Swarm. So we have some old one in metals and some more recent one in plastic. But most of the plastic one are miniatures that I've made myself using resin and a mold. And I'm quite happy with the result, because one time I had this envy to play Tyranids with 15 Reaper Swarms in it. So I rebased everything. I made a lot of little Reapers, and so now I have 15 bases of Reaper. We are going to see most of them here. Here, old Biovore, new Biovore. We have the other Reaper squad. Old school Tyranid guards with their rabbit teeth. The new and much better gargoyles with winged prince and hive crown. My Honko version for Tyranid Prim before it exists. Honestly, I prefer mine because you can really see that it's a bigger one. Old school Hive Prince. I really love them. I really love the style. I would really love that if one day I would do a bigger version of this kind of prince, Tyranid Prince. I really like how they look. I won't do it, but I would love that. Yes, yes, they are. Yes, I'm saying Hive Prince. It's Hive Tyrant, and it's a Tyranid Prince. In fact, it's a Tyranid Prince in French, and not Hive Tyrant. So now time to go and to see some orcs. So here we can see one and my first and my only big conversion to make I don't even know. It's fun that I'm not I don't know all the English name. So what's the stuff with Death Roller? It's war. Oh. Lost it. Battle Wagon. Thank you, Reiki, and welcome. Yes, Battle Wagon. So, because it's absolutely not like this in French. In French, it's Chariot Guerre. So, it's war more, it will be war chariot in French. So, this Battle Wagon is the first big conversion made by myself. It's the base. It's a lemon rust with two old school truck, the very small truck that we will see a bit later, and lot of stuff fine in. At this time, you could bought in Games Workshop some bits grape, and there were boxes of munition, spare wheels, a lot of things, and also a tube of toilet paper to do the death roller, and a lot of imagination from me. So this, for the record, this Battle Wagon is a gift I built for my father for his birthday. It was maybe his 51 or 52 birthday. I'm not sure. And I had to build it and paint it in secret because I wanted to gift him painted and built. So I had to hide myself to build it and paint it. But the surprise worked, and he was very, very happy. And I'm quite happy with the fact that you can put quite a lot of miniature on it, and it looks. I think it looks fun when it's filled with miniature. So we have also here a little duel, duel between the veteran sergeant, Sergeant Riper Jackson from Scykhe, and Lictor in the forest. You can also see classic Commander Orc, absolutely not aware that red and black are not the best color to infiltrate in a forest. The back of a Stomper. So here you can see some of the classic truck I was speaking of, and the new truck, which the new truck are so prettier than the old ones. Classic, here's a plastic orc from the V2 box, base box. Some Copter from Blackreach. Here we have Truck Boys, Bad Moons, Old Buggy, Carbonizator, Old Bike with a new one, some new Carnifex. Oh. And here's my most of my most recent miniature, my small Lamenter Force. And they have, as usual, they are not very lucky because they have chosen to attack just between Orcs and Tyranids, so things are not going to be very, very easy for them. Orc plane, red to go faster, with flame. I really like the Orc planes, they are very beautiful. Looted Lemongrass, with once again unique sense of camouflage. But the tank is about to be eaten by an Arispex. Here is this big spore is one of the worst models to build. I don't know why, but I really hated building it. That's why I finally have only one. At one point I wanted more, but finally I have only one. Some V2 Gretchen just here. So here it's very chaotic because, as I was saying a bit earlier, at this point I realized that there was so many miniatures that I really had to put them and squeeze them and occupy them the most surfaces, and I couldn't leave a lot of spaces. But I still try to tell little stories. For instance, these orcs riding warballs are trying to attack the spore mine. Here the orcs, the infantry has let a passage, a way for all the vehicles to go to the center. Here, behind the fortification, you have all the shooty part of the orc with meg gun and a looted gun. Old school mega armor. Where we're going now? It's just a pan on the orcs. You can see that the Stomper here is accompanied by Killer Khan and Death Dread. Here we have a look at, so here has the old school mech gun. Some are so fun. I have no idea the name in English because I've never played them in English, but I think Rocket Pulsar is also the same. We have tractor gun, we have something that we have a squid catapult, we have a gun, ricochet cannon. They could take ages to resolve. Basically, this cannon in the second edition, you shoot it once, and after the first shoot, it would bounce again, and it will bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce until you made a specific result. And if you never make this result, well, it will bounce all the time. So you could have spent 20 to 30 minutes just to solve one shot, and you could have many of them. It was really a mess. Oh, and now we are going to look at one of the funniest miniature of the orcs. After looking a bit of not yet. So first, the Stomper, just here, a Stomper facing 2 knights and 2 armiger. This is going to be a big fight, big fight. And here, one of my favorite miniature, both in terms of rules and look, the shock attack gun with snotling bases surrounding him. So, in the second edition, this weapon was shooting the little guys that you can see around him, and in fact it was teleporting the snotling inside tank and armor. And the snotling was so terrified by what happened during the teleportation, they were crazy, and they were killing everything inside the tank. It was a very fun weapon with lots of random table to determine what was happening when the snotling arrived in something enclosed. Here we have lots of Kadashan in plastic Imperial Guard. It's quite fun to see that now they're quite despised now. To be honest, I don't see a lot of people saying that this is beautiful miniature and that they like them. But this miniature made my father start an Imperial Guard army. He always loved Imperial Guard. He started collecting tanks quite early, but he always said, as long as one squad of Imperial Guard will cost a lot, and it's always the same 10 miniature in metal, I will not really play Imperial Guard. So when they arrived in plastic, it was a real revolution. So yes, now they are maybe out of date, but when they went out, they were really life changer for people who wanted to do a massive army of Imperial Guard. Caestus Assault Ram for my Alpha Legion. I really love this plane. Here's some big guns ready to shoot from a distance. An old Griffin. They have no actual rules. Basilisk Classic Manticore. Here you can see a Chimera, a threadless Chimera. A lot of heavy weapons surrounded here. Some mortars, a big bunker, and at the top of this big protected bunker, all the HQ for my Imperial Guard, so Scykhe Primaris. It's Macarius, a model of Macarius, which I use as a colonel, fleet commander, an inquisitor, an astropath, standard bearer, heavy weapon, commissar. All the guys who are hiding from the true fight. So one more little story. As you can see here, I said that there's a threadless Chimera because I've lost the thread. So I decided to show that this crew member are running to try to fix the Chimera. Here's some of my biggest tanks with the Stormlord, and we are... Before going back to them, here we are moving through the Chimera strike force, and I try to... with my camera here, I try to do as it's a drone flying underneath of the plane and just above the vehicles. I kind of like how it looks. We are now looking at my 30k Alpha Legion. I love Alpha Legion and my Blue Alpha Legion. Now we are back and so we have seen some Valkyrie. Here back to the centerpiece. Here we have what do we have here? We have the centerpiece and a view on the Inquisitor. We have a view of some fight between Chaos and Blood Angel. A look at the Stomper. So you have to realize that I shot this video in one take. It was not the first time. It has been 8 minutes that I have my camera and that I'm moving around. So I'm starting to be less precise. Let me say. So I was talking about some of my biggest tanks. I love them: Baneblade, Stormlord, and Falcon. Here is my very small force of Adeptus Mechanicus, and they are fighting around the Titan to protect it. The Mighty River, my biggest miniature ever. So many works to build it. Building has been so long. Painting a bit less, but yet long too. Really love it, and I would really love to have more Titans. So now we are watching the chaos. My chaos is very chaotic, of course, because we have Death Guard, we have Southern Sun, we have demons of all the gods, we have almost every legend, so it's a really real mess. And in the middle of that, I want you to also tell a little story. It's a story of treason, because for me, a basic of Chaos Army is that they are not trustful. So in the middle of the battle, the old rivalry between Sench and Nurgle sparked again, and so in fact, Sench and Nurgle forces are fighting. That's why Keros and Mortarion are here facing each other. And that's why most of the Southern Sun's forces and Sinch Demon are not looking towards the enemy, but towards the Nurgle ones. All this board that you can see, all these miniatures that you can see here, have been the trickiest to set up. Because all these miniatures once I put all the table, I couldn't reach where they are. So I couldn't put them, all these miniatures, all the one you can see here. I had to put them on the board you see, the decorated board you see, on another table, and then slide it very gently to put them in position. So it was really stressful, because if anything fall, I had to slide it back, put everything back together, and then slide it again. It has been very stressful, but I've been able to do it and to fill the board, and that's why it's the thing I did in last, because I was very stressed of not being able to do it, so I wanted to keep it for the end. Keros and Mortarion are fighting. Here, Demon Prince and Great Uncling One are fighting too. Singe Demon against Nurgle Demon. So I was saying they are facing each other. While Black Legion, following Abaddon, is fighting in the first line. Defiler, I love the Defiler miniature. It's a really nice one. Same here, you can see all my Khorne miniature, Berserkers and Khorne Demon, just in front line, because I want to take skulls and spill blood. Here you can see again the Genie Stealer against Death Space Hulk Terminator. Here, so Southern Sun against Death Guard, Nurgle Lord, and we have seen almost everything. A new look at the building, still the same story. Another look, another angle to see my Blood Angel. So here we can see well all the Terminators, but as you can see, some are very small and some are quite big. As the base is not the only reason why. A quick look back to the centerpiece. This time we have seen quite well the Inquisitrix. Oh, I have never rebased anything. Almost never rebased anything. And so here's a wider shot to try to show a bit everything. And we are almost at the end of the video. I try to do wide shot to give after 10 minutes of close shot to give a sense of size. Well, so this was a second parade video with my commentary. I've said most of the thing I wanted to say. But it's time for you to tell me if you have any question. Please ask them, and we'll try to answer them. And I have a question for you. Is during the video, have you seen the 2 hidden assassins? Have you seen them? I'll let you tell me if you have seen them or not, and if you have not, I will show them to you. Did you move them, Cap? Okay, let me... No, it didn't fit them. Okay, let me show them to you. Let me show them to you. The first one is a Culexus assassin. So it's an assassin specialized into killing Scykhe. And so he is just here. He is just here between Dark Eldars and about to strike Warlocks and Farseer Eldar. So just here, you have this little dude. It's a Culexus assassin about to strike from the shadows against all these psychic guys. This the Culexus assassins are really specialized to hunt wizards and people using magic power. So the Eldar as one of the race who use them the most. I thought it was quite interesting for the assassin to be there. Yes, that's really the fun part. I often do a pause on I often pause this piece of my video to show everyone the 4 old miniature talking together. And so I know I pause the screen and the assassin is inside, but as it's not the focus of what I'm talking about, he is not seen. The second one is much trickier to see. It's a Vindicator assassin and is about to do really tricky headshot. Let me show it to you. Where is it? Maybe around here. Yes, he is just here. Vindicator assassin, just hidden behind the orc mech piloting the Stomper, about to headshot to headshot the Stomper. So this one, I've put this one here just because it was one of the last miniature I put on the board, because I kept it in last to try to find the best vantage point for him to be able to have a nice line of sight and to be able to shoot something. But at the end, the board was so filled with miniature that nowhere it could have been. There are no place where it could have been interesting. So I decided to do the fun choice, and instead I put it on top of the Stomper, ready to shoot in shot, to do a short sniping, a short headshot from close range, a point blank sniping headshot. I thought it was quite fun. So there are the two snipers, the two assassins. Well, if you have any question, it's time to ask them. Yes, I can say a little more about my Adeptus Mechanicus, in case you don't know, and if you are interested, let me know in the comment or in the chat. But all my Adeptus Mechanicus, color scheme, and iconography and everything is based from the same engineer school I did in real life, because Adeptus Mechanicus is often reduced to AHEM. The engineer school I did is Armétier and is also reduced to AHEM. So a strange machine cult of people with lot of old tradition, and my engineering school we have lot of old tradition too, and for me it's a perfect comparison. So all my Adeptus Mechanicus is paint and build around my part of my engineering school, and so I made a mix. In lore wise, I do an Umbrew Forge World with a mix with the lore, which makes real life things, 40k things, and new stuff. So I'm quite happy with it. If you're interested, let me know. I can share a link to you with some stuff I've written about this army. Just let me know in chat or contact me anywhere. Here, comment, Twitter. Don't hesitate. Well, so with this shot, I think we are going to stop this commentary. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed Second Parade. It was very fun for me to do it. It required a lot of works, planification ahead to know how I will put the table. A lot of painting because I had not enough scenery painted. Also, after that, I had to put everything in place. I had to do some Tetris to be sure the board will not fall, because it would be a catastrophe if some stuff would fall. To see if I could squeeze more miniature, more table, more space, if I had enough of everything. And after that, once everything had been planned, I had to put all the miniature on the board, and I think it took me around 10 hours to put everything on the board. For now, it's still in place because I want to leave it in place. I want to let it in place because maybe some people will visit me, and I'm sure they would love to see it in real life. And if I want to do more photo, more video, because I'm not sure I will do it again, so I want to keep it in memories, and I really want to to share it with you because it's I think it's quite entertaining, and I hope you liked it. Well, so with this we are about to stop the commentary for now. Yes. Thank you very much for watching. Don't hesitate to comment, to like, to share this video, to share everything about Second Parade. The more people see it, the more happy I am, because not for fame, but because that's 25 years of my life, and so it gives meaning and sense to what I've done. So don't hesitate to share, and thank you very much for watching this far.